Welcome to Season 2 of Why Your Business is Invisible Online. This season, we focus on the dramatic change artificial intelligence is having on your online visibility. Joining me are my two co-hosts, and here they are.
Hi, this is Jim Falotico. I'm currently obsessed with planning my next beach adventure for my whole family.
Hi, I'm Kelly Biggs. We're talking about AI this season. I'm wondering, can I get an AI agent to clean my house?
And I'm your host, John Maniatis, still glued to my guitar, but with my new band planning our next tour. So let's use this episode to just highlight some of the things that we believe are going to be brought up not only throughout this year but in perpetuity. The things I wanted to touch on are around how AI has impacted your lives, your clients. You've had to make adjustments already. So I'll be just peppering you guys with a whole bunch of ideas. Don't need you to go into anything too deep because we have plenty of episodes in the future to touch on it in a deep dive sort of way. Today, let's just touch on high-level themes that we know are important to us and our listeners. How has your business world changed? Have you had to go and get more training, more certifications, up your credentials to be able to tackle this? Love to hear about your personal philosophy around AI. All three of us are with WSI. If you're watching on video, you see the WSI behind us. If you're listening, that's the end company we work with. There's a tagline associated with our organization, and we all believe in it. But what does it really mean to us? It's embrace digital, stay human. The stay human part is critical. Love to hear what your thoughts are on that, and how that's maybe that tagline has even helped you over the course of the year. And then love to hear some things about how companies, mid-sized, large companies that you've interacted with, what are they doing with AI? How have they created perhaps processes, disciplines, guardrails around it with their organization? And just things that you're doing specifically. So again, I'm going through a laundry list now just to set things up, but specifically, some of the things that you've done just for yourself to take advantage of AI. I'm sure a lot of the simple tactical things that you did before maybe are done a lot quicker, leaving you a lot of extra time to do a lot more strategic things. So I'm going to pause there and just let you guys talk a little bit about the impact of AI with yourself and your clients. Jim, actually, I know you have some stats around some of the trends we're seeing that really lend themselves to AI playing a big role in visibility.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, thanks, John. So one of the things that we lean into, or where we are understanding, is that Google has been the king. They've been where everybody goes to search for a new product or service. They have a question, looking for an answer. At one point, they were 98% of all search. And in 2024, it turns out they dropped from 98 to 61%. And there's no reason to cry for Google. They're still getting more hits.
Don't cry for me, Google.
They're still getting more traffic than they were before. It's just that It's expanded, right? But the things that changed, and one that we've talked about a bit, but I don't want to gloss over, but we'll gloss over a bit, is that social media, even before AI, was taking some of that traffic away. Different generations were going to TikTok or to Instagram for answers, to search for products, services, whatever. Since then, in 2024, that was about 17%. But in 2024, the interesting thing is that AI was at 30% of search. So if someone had a question online, they were going to go AI 30% of the time. And so that was a huge change. And it's changed the way people search. And so we've had to adjust for that for ourselves and for our clients. It's been fun. It's been scary. It's been interesting. The cool thing about WSI is they jump feet first into it.
Really do.
And we do weekly chats, learning about what's going on. And it has to be weekly because the changes are so fast that it's hard to keep up with. And
I know you guys are, sorry to interrupt you. I know you guys are we're all like corporate background, but you remember when you start getting training and it's like drinking from a fire hose.
Oh yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
really is like
Yeah. This is like a
everything
tsunami.
else. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Exactly. That's a great point. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. What's cool is that WSI realized this was the next big thing, right? I mean,
Yep.
WSI got out of the business before the internet,
Mhm.
and then they were feet first into search and the internet and websites and all those kind of things. And social media, when that first came out, they did the same thing. They realized that social media was going to disrupt the internet and the way people interact with the internet. And obviously it has, since everybody's always on their phone. You can't
Yep.
see it in my screen, always on our phone. And now AI has done the same thing. And
Yeah.
so we've had to adjust. We've had to learn what to do, what not to do, and then be able to translate that for our clients, because they're trying to figure out what to do and not to do, what
That's
works,
right.
what doesn't work, what's
Mhm.
dangerous, what isn't dangerous.
Mhm.
We hadn't heard the word hallucinations since college.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's a big word.
We'll leave that for another episode. Actually, some ideas for Kelly's future thumbnails. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, now
Uh-huh.
you have to be concerned about that, just
Yeah.
because they're the AI is so confident in their answers.
It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking about how know, like, and trust was true even for Chat GPT. Because you remember when it first came out, right? You're like, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you're like, well, I tried it and it did this for me. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm getting to know it. We all kind of dated it, for a while.
Mhm.
And then you're like, and then I know it. Like you picked your favorite AI tool that you like. This is my go-to. I'm going to go to this to get whatever answer I'm going to do. Da, 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 da. And then now it quickly got to trust, to your point, Jim, to a point that you might be trusting it too much,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because a study came out, the number of times that it gives false references is really high.
Yes.
Right,
Yep.
is well over 50% of the time when it cites stuff, it is incorrect citations.
Yeah.
And
So the point might be correct, but the reference is wrong. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Then you
Got it.
start questioning everything.
Then you question
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I
Yeah.
believe in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys, to your analogy of dating, did you guys find you dated and were loyal to one for the longest time, but now everybody's dating everybody now? In other words, there's a whole bunch of other tools you're using in the AI spectrum for different things. Like, again, in future episodes, we're going to get into the nitty gritty when it comes to all these tools. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't just use ChatGPT and OpenAI's tool anymore. I go to Perplexity. I go to Claude or Claude, Anthropic, for different reasons. And I know,
I don't use
Kelly,
that
you,
that much.
yeah. Do you guys? I don't know. Do you guys use other tools?
I definitely use other tools. Like I was telling you, I will say I think people are liberal in their use of what AI is. Right. I will say that some of the fun things are, I like Notebook LLM a lot, but that one, you basically are training it. You give it a document, you give it a transcript, you give it whatever. Like this is all it's going to pull its information from. That's it. It won't go to the internet to look for anything. So I really like that when I am working on something for my own business or a client's business with permissions, but I don't want you to go to the internet.
Mhm.
I just want you to stay confined to this period. I really like Notebook LLM for that.
So what would be an example of a problem you're solving and your go-to is Notebook LLM?
Yeah. So say I wanted to write a policy for my own business, right?
Mhm.
I'm onboarding, which actually my husband just did one the other day for us. It was the one, I'm gonna look it up. It was this is something different. It's not Notebook, but I want to share this with you. It was bolt.new. And that
And you, okay.
it's a coding one, but
Hmm.
you can what he was like. Wouldn't it be cool if on our website we wanted to build a calculator where somebody's like, how much should I consider paying for a website? And he's just typing in link, and he can program, which I think is important if you're building a program, because or else you don't know how to debug it. The speed to which you will be able to write apps is is amazing. And I did, John, I think you told me to ask him like what does he think that'll take his job away as a software engineer? And he's like, I don't I don't code. He's like, I'll code if I have to. I know how to code. I know how to fix it. I know how to debug. One, there's like two things. One, any company that built itself on something that's coded on something that you really don't own, because it was like the ownership is questionable with AI right now, right? Who actually now owns your code that you're using to run your business? So those are the things. So as I'm going through all of it, and I know that's not I'm way off the beaten path for what you asked me about notebook and all. But I think this is the point that I would say is I don't think you should solution it. So because the question you asked is when do you use this
When to
for
use
this or this
notebook?
or
Yeah.
that?
When is
Right.
notebook useful?
And
Yeah.
so yeah, notebook is useful when you're doing something internally, you want it guarded. You're like, I need to do this efficiency for myself, but also I don't trust them with the secret sauce with anything that's not general knowledge, right? So I
Mhm.
might say you can give it URLs, you can use my website, and you can use this document. Like basically, I've taken myself through. Here's the steps of onboarding a client for me, and then it'll shoot out. Okay, here's an onboarding document that you can use on Google. Like I
Mhm.
have to put the guardrails around, but I
It's
think
useful.
a
Yeah.
lot of yeah, I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are doing things tactically
Mhm.
with AI, and I think that that's the wrong approach to AI. But we can talk about that later. But
Yeah, that'll come up in future episodes.
yeah, yeah,
What are some of the things that take you down a rabbit hole that really isn't useful? The right way to use AI, and a lot of wrong ways that our experts at WSI that we'll have on some of our future episodes. They'll help us with the right way, at least what we know today, and we know it's constantly evolving.
Jim, did you have any
Yeah.
tools that you like?
Originally, it was Chat GPT, and then all the iterations of that.
Oh, do you know? That's a good question. Like they have so many different ones out. Do you know when to use 4.0, deep research 4.5, 6,
Oh yeah,
7, 8,
that's a
whatever?
great one. One
Yeah,
point.
Do
I
you
Yeah.
mean,
know?
yes, and a lot of it has to do with how much you want it to really think. I mean, sometimes you just need an answer, and then
Hmm.
Yeah.
sometimes you really need the research. And so using deep or the research one is for more of a thought provoking thing where it's not just an answer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
You
anyway,
can you can
It
tell
takes a long time
takes a
too,
long
right?
time.
well,
Yeah,
Like
deep
well,
research.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
7 minutes,
compared to
6
what it would
minutes.
take for us to do it, it's pretty quick. But you're right; it does take. We've gotten so used to getting an answer immediately.
Yeah.
You just you barely hit enter, and all of a sudden, bloop, it shows it. So I do like Perplexity as well
Yeah.
because I like the citations. Although Chat is starting to do that now, they're starting to give you more
Yes, they are.
citations. They're starting to do map packs where they'll show maps if you ask for local things. So
Also,
um,
have you noticed? And so this is one thing I didn't love as much about Perplexity. And I'm just curious if you had, like, sometimes I want primary source, not a secondary, not an opinion. I find it's hard for it to understand the difference between a primary source
Yes.
and a
yeah, I've
secondary
noticed
source.
that
Have
as
you?
well. Yeah, you have to click through to see what they are.
Have you guys had to do a lot of extra training to now, feel like you're an expert with your clients and so forth? Lot more credentials required. Are people looking for those at this early stage or not? But or are you doing it just for yourselves?
I say people are not necessarily looking for it. They're impressed when you're able to say, my AI is certified. I think they get impressed and that know, like, and trust. For me, I do a lot of speaking engagements, and here's what I've seen different in them. Like I've been doing them on this topic for now around 18 months or so. And so I notice I go into a room at first, and I would say, how many of you are using AI and maybe you saw one or two hands up in a room of 100 that I'm speaking to. Typically is the room size. And then I would say maybe 6 months later, it was about half the room, anywhere from a third to a half. And then the last time I spoke, it was maybe 4 people who had not used it.
Okay. Okay.
So that was
That's good.
interesting.
It's picking up.
But so then I started to, again, I got to evolve my speech because talking about what AI is doesn't work anymore because I know. Then I say, okay, how many people in here lead a business? And so a lot of business leaders will raise their hand, right? Generally, somewhere around 60% of my audiences that I'm speaking to. And so, great. And then I say, okay, how many of your employees do you think are using AI to get the work done? And typically, maybe 5 or 6 hands might go down at that point. But then you ask a question. I always lead with this whole thought process of hallucinations happen, incorrect information. People are afraid of the internet. So if I led there now, and I've opened myself up because I say, oh, okay, so your people are using it. How many of you have established guardrails or policies to set up for that? And very few hands go up. And it's honestly dangerous and something that every business leader should be thinking about. And so what I've done is,
so is it, in your opinion, is it the Wild West out there still? Most companies
I think
are.
Yeah. I think people like I do AI because they know how to spell it, but they really don't. They really don't. They haven't been thoughtful about what then does that mean to my business and how is it going to move my business
Interesting.
forward? So one of the things that I have been offering to people are these workshops, right? And so I do them. I can do them in like a group setting where it's everybody, and then you're not really getting it personalized, but it still helps the individual who's like, I want to be the thought leader in my organization, and absolutely we can do that. Or I can do it for entire organizations. And Jim, I know you can and do the same thing for this. It's something that, again, WSI helps us to set that framework so that everybody is leveled up and talking the same language. And I fear that maybe 1% of companies have done this today.
Interesting.
To be honest.
Yeah, and
I don't have it. That's not a factual number.
Yeah. Well, we have to be good stewards for our clients, right? I mean, we have to make sure that we not only show them what's new and shiny and cool, but that it's sharp and it can cut.
Yeah.
I like it. That's
so
great. I like that, Jim.
Yeah. So you're right. It's important that we're cognizant of the repercussions and we explain that. So that WSI has been great with that. And we've done, I think we just completed our second survey for SMBs, people under the enterprise level. We did a survey with a whole bunch of folks, and that report's not even out yet, but it will be soon. And it gives us a lot of great information to be able to share and also to be able to use, obviously, internally to say, here's where we think you may be lacking, and we can help.
Yeah. WSI does offer we have a booklet that helps people get those guardrails that Kelly talked about in place for their organization. We'll actually pop it on our website.
Put it on our website.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, we'll definitely take care of that. No, I'm curious. Do you guys lead? Like we were always digital marketing strategists, digital marketing consultants. Have you changed the way you position yourselves in the marketplace now? Are you AI marketing consultants now? Are you throwing AI into the way you introduce yourself to clients and jump into that discussion like almost right away? Is it a natural part of your business process with clients?
I haven't necessarily changed titles or whatever, but I talk about it. The one thing that I don't want to do, I guess, is be AI like everything is AI, because that's not the case. That's why the embrace digital, stay human thing. So, yes, it's a good tool to use, and it can really help people, and it can make them more effective and efficient if used properly. But it takes a hell of a lot more than just saying, okay, let's everybody install, pick a favorite color, pick a favorite flavor, Chat or Perplexity or whatever else. That's not going to do it. It's used as a tool, just like we use SEO and PPC and all those kind of things. But we have to look at it strategically. And if we don't do that, we're doing a disservice for our clients. And so we use it, and it's important, and it's not going away, like you said.
Yeah.
But we have to understand the repercussions of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Kelly? Yeah.
I think it's a two-pronged approach to your question, right?
Okay.
Because some people will say, you're a digital marketer. Why are you talking to me about AI? Right. So, and it's fair until I explain why. Yeah, marketers were the early adopters of AI in our business, right? And so whether it was for, I need help ideating, let's face it, and some people like, I'm going to write 5,000 blogs for my clients. And then we've soon learned that, it all sounds the same. I think we were early adopters and started to see the power of it. So who better to help you with your business on it? But also staying down that same column, this idea of search is changing. And so if Google isn't the only game in town, and people, I think, one day will go to whatever their favorite AI bot is and ask them to go to the best restaurant, the best pizza restaurant near me, and book for me, you had better show up. So that's one. So that's one trail. But the other trail then is, and if it can do that, what business problems? We were always business first, putting marketing in to fit your business goals. In the same way, AI can fit into your business goals. And what we've really found is it typically may be more around the organizational structure. Like, are you having a marketing problem? Then yes, we'll look at marketing specifically. But or are you having a billing problem? And how can AI solve that? What does that look like? Is it something you should buy off the shelf? And do you need a guide to help you figure that out for you? And if you get it, if you buy it, who's going to be in charge of implementing all the things that people don't think about when they're doing change management? And that's really what this ends up being. And so I would say both, but it does depend on. Sometimes I wear the AI marketing hat, and sometimes it's just strictly an AI consultant hat. Like, how can AI truly move your business forward?
Okay. Well, that's great. It makes sense in terms of where AI is today. I wanted to touch on what Jim just said, because it had a big impact with my BNI group. When I first told them about WSI's tagline, embrace digital, stay human, it was unanimous. They all said that's one of the best taglines I've heard from anybody. They loved it. They were all over that concept. And I paused and I thought, I wonder, like, what's the real reason they love it? And I think a lot of it had to do with the stay human part. I think there's a fear around AI, taking away people's jobs and things like that concept, and the fact that the human element is never going to go away to them, I think was reassuring. And I think it was a big part of why they loved our tagline. I don't know what other experiences you guys have had with our tagline, other than, I think, unanimously, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about it. Everybody thought it was the perfect tagline for the right time. It could evolve over time, but for now, it is working for all of us. Jim, I think you said even maybe helped you win a piece of business. Maybe you too, Kelly. Just curious to see how that's gone and what you think about it. Like, what do you like it? Like, what's your thoughts around that tagline? Embrace digital, stay human.
I think it's really cool. I mean, we came out with it before AI was really important or out. And it was more about just making sure that it wasn't just about tools and tactics, and it wasn't just about, pulling a lever here or doing that. We want to make sure that we're partners and we're a part of the companies and clients that we work with. And it's just so happened that AI comes out and it just resonates even more. To me, when you look at today's environment where everyone has a phone in front of their face, and there's less interactions, and people talk about that, and what's happening with kids growing up because now they don't go out and play and I'm going way deep, but
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's all part of that.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we are the humans in the loop, and we take care of people's problems, and like Kelly was saying, it doesn't necessarily have to just be about marketing. I mean, marketing traditionally is about providing leads to grow someone's business, but now we're looking at it as really it's more profitability. You know what I mean? You don't have to get new clients if you can save money on the other end, right? If you can streamline things. So we're helping on both sides, and we're trying to help on both sides. And that's what it's all about. And if we can do that, can our clients give more money back to their shareholders?
Yeah.
Or for the business leader, can he retire with more money in his pocket or whatever? And that ultimately,
Or earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pissed me off, but yeah. But I mean that's what it's kind of about. And so it's something that when we say it when I think sometimes when people say taglines, it comes out off as corny. But I can really say it in being genuine, or I feel like I'm genuine about it because that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? It's the 3-minute conversations we have with clients that they'll ask a question about something, and we can give them an answer, and they go, "Oh, that makes sense." You know what I mean? Thanks.
Yeah. It's important to me, like embrace digital. We all know we're digital marketers.
That's kind of given.
Had escalation to digital with AI, but the stay human part is the part that I think is more important. I say that specifically if we go back to like building somebody's website, right? I can't, like, the number of times I go to somebody's website, and I'm gonna go back and quote Marty Grief. It's like you go to the website and it's me, like they're in the opera. I do this, I. And I think that content is still king. And even though my thought process was, okay, now that AI is this tool and a large language model, the very first solution was now I can write all this content.
Right.
But can you? Because if you don't understand your brand voice, then your content is going to sound like everybody's out there, right? Now, I say that to say beautifully, though, it does a really good job of once it gets to know your voice and your sense of humor, and your humor is questionable. I'll tell you. Again, though, we were looking. I'll give you one. We were looking at. I needed to come up with a bad dad joke. We sit around the kitchen table, and at dinner we have something to talk. But anyway, we wanted to do bad dad jokes. So I was like, can you give me a bad dad joke? And then a lot of it was stuff that you, again, because how has it been trained? It's stuff you'd heard over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Why was 5 afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9, like, those kind of things, like you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't have a sense of humor.
They did. But however, they had a pretty good one. They were
you found one?
Yeah. Here it is. Tell me what you think. 5 ants rented an apartment to 5 more ants.
Okay.
Now they're tenants.
Okay. That's the best it can do. Okay, it's got a few years to go before it hits Rodney Dangerfield or anybody else for that matter.
I thought that one was pretty good.
I asked it even, like, I know I'm digressing a little bit, but because I'm playing a lot of guitar and with groups and stuff with my brother, so we needed a name for a band, right? So I said, okay, here's the set list that we're playing. So think of this band's music, all their lyrics, all their song titles, and using that as your sort of base, come up with a clever band name, and give me about 50 of them to choose from. Like I said, go crazy kind of thing. Guys, honestly, not one. They were all lousy, corny, like really. I go, there's no way I'm using any of these names.
Wait, I have to say, Jim, tell them we were talking about this before about emails, writing emails.
How can you tell? I hope this email finds you well, you mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah, every single email starts
Yeah,
that way now,
exactly.
right?
But it's so crazy because so we were just talking about this one day, and Jim was like, "I hope this email." I was like, "I say that all the time. Like I literally say that whenever I talk. Like, do I sound like an AI?
Yeah.
Because that is me being human. Like
It's
I
like a
do hope it
wormhole.
finds
Now
you well.
it's
Now I
stuck.
don't.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it does that universally for anybody, or is it just because it got to know our style that we
No, I
tend to
think
start
because I
emails
get
with
emails all the time.
from other people
And
too?
now
Yeah.
it's changed. It may not say, I hope this email finds you well, but it's, I hope you are doing well, or I hope you are, you know what I mean? It just, there's always a
like
little,
rather than like you just came off of a long weekend. Hope you had a great holiday. How about
yeah,
that?
right.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Like there's certain words, and I'm like never use crucial in
Yeah,
anything
right.
else that you deliver to me.
Oh, the word crucial
Stop it.
gets used a
Yeah.
lot too.
Oh
Yeah.
my
That's why you can
gosh.
put rules in
Yeah.
Yes.
on AI. Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. Thank you for tuning in to Why Your Business is Invisible Online. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do us a favor and subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple. Be sure to share it with other business owners who might find it helpful. If you want to dig deeper, contact us at ruinvisibleonline.com. That's capital letter R, capital letter U, followed by invisibleonline.com. Or message us on our LinkedIn business profile with the same title, Are You Invisible Online? The information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and may or may not reflect the official policy or position of WSI Corporate. Always consult a qualified digital marketing expert before making significant changes to your online strategy. Until next time, keep connecting with the people who matter most to your business and join us for our next episode.